Nami, it's an emergency!
What's the matter? Raising your voice like that?
My mom, she's gone.
What did you say? My name is Hanami Sato. I'm a 38-year-old full-time housewife. My husband and I have 3 daughters. The oldest Akemi, next Satomi, and the youngest Harumi. One would be a handful, but we have 3. At least they're all girls, so they're somewhat manageable.
I'm home.
Welcome back. Thank you for all of your hard work for us.
I'm exhausted. I can't wait to have a beer.
Why don't you take a quick shower and get refreshed before that? Dinner is already ready.
Thanks.
My husband, Masaru, is 4 years older than me. In order to support this family of 5, he works very hard from morning until night. Well, his salary isn't that great, and so that does hurt sometimes. But as soon as my youngest daughter gets a little bit older, I'll be able to get back to work too. We do have 3 girls going to high school, and eventually college, and we need to pay for the tuition somehow. By the way, your mother sent us a lot of meat the other day. Would you mind giving her a phone call to thank her from you as well?
Oh, she's always so good to us. Got it.
My mother-in-law was always thoughtful of our family with a lot of kids, and she would often send us different kinds of gifts. My father-in-law had already passed, and he was quite the investor and philanthropist, and my mother-in-law inherited all of those assets herself. She was still living in a huge mansion by herself. Masaru has one older sister named Kozue, but I guess they must not get along because I've never heard Masaru speak of her or tell me anything about her. Well, I imagine being from a rich family comes with its own difficult problems. Every year, Kozue would send us greeting cards for every holiday, and you could tell that she was a very well-mannered person. She set up her own company when she was young and is a female CEO who works very hard, and I look up to her a lot. Daddy, will you help me with my homework?
What? Akemi, you're in the 6th grade, right? I don't know if I'll be able to.
I would be concerned if you weren't able to answer an elementary school kid's homework. All of my daughters loved their dad very much. I believe that we had a really great household, and I felt like I had put in a lot of effort in order to make it that way. Unfortunately, it seems that that wasn't going to last very long. It all started one day on a Sunday.
Nami, it's an emergency!
What's the matter? Raising your voice like that?
My mom, she's gone.
What did you say? It was a truly sudden announcement. Just last week, my mother-in-law had sent us a fresh package of delicious meats. She had even handwritten a letter saying, "You're always welcome over anytime." My mother-in-law was quite old, but she was always healthy and never sick or had any problems that we knew of. That's why, even though my husband was telling me that his mother had passed, I wasn't able to comprehend the situation so easily.
Look, I'm gonna take some days off of work and head straight back home to her house. So, can you get the kids ready and come as soon as you can?
I am on it. Be careful. Please give my condolences to your sister for me as well.
Okay, I will.
Masaru headed off back to his hometown first. When my kids got home from school, I told them that their grandma passed away, and they all broke down into tears. Of course they would. My mother-in-law was an amazing grandmother who was always so loving to our kids. Anytime she would take them out with her, she would always buy matching clothes in different colors for them and buy whatever toys they wanted. She was always so sweet to my girls, and she loved them and they loved her just as much. That's why I knew this sudden farewell would probably hurt them all deeply. The next day, the 4 of us got on the bullet train and headed towards my husband's family home. Honami and everyone else, thank you for making the long trip to be here. Kozue, I am so sorry for your loss. Thank you for being so kind to my mother when she was with us. My mother is already resting at the funeral home. Today we'll be hosting a wake for just the family, and tomorrow we'll invite any others who wish to see her and host another wake. The funeral is planned for the day after that. Thank you. If there is anything at all that I can do to help, please let me know. Thank you. I'm sure we will need your help at some point. After touching base with my sister-in-law, we went to put down our luggage and began helping prepare for the first wake. This was for only the family and relatives of the deceased to be by their side. My mother-in-law still had her kind and peaceful expression as she laid there. Apparently, it was just her old age. The person who was coming every day to help around the house found her already gone in her sleep.
What about the kids?
It seems like they're still a little too scared to see their grandma like this. They're still in shock.
I see. I'm gonna go check in on the girls.
Thank you. I was left alone with my mother-in-law. There was still so much that I wanted to talk to her about. Honami, do you have a minute? Yes? How can I help? I thought it would be best for me to tell you this first. Sure. What's the matter? What my sister-in-law proceeded to tell me was beyond my wildest expectations. After that, the relatives started to gather, and one by one said their farewells to the matriarch of the family. The next day was the wake, and the following day the funeral. Everything went by in a blur. Because my mother-in-law was quite well known in her hometown as the wife of a famous investor, many people came over the course of the 2 days to pay their respects. However, the curtain was only rising from here on the scene of carnage.
Well then, we've all said our farewells to Mom, so should we get right to the main discussion, Kozue?
I knew that you would say that, Masaru. This is my lawyer, Mr. Onda. Mr. Onda was our father's legal counsel for years.
It's very nice to meet you. Well then, I would hereby like to commence the discussion regarding your mother's inheritance.
That's right. My mother-in-law had inherited an unbelievably large sum of assets from her husband. All of the other relatives had apparently promised my mother-in-law to let the two children discuss the inheritance between themselves, so they were not in attendance for this meeting.
I'm gonna be very straight with you. I would like for my sister to renounce any and all rights to the inheritance.
And the reason?
I know that you know the reason. Because you're the child of an affair. To leave money to the child of a mistress? I know that's not what my mother would want.
This was the shocking reality that Kozue had told me earlier. To my disbelief, Kozue was actually born between her father and his mistress. However, that mistress passed away shortly after she was born, and my mother-in-law was the one who was quick to offer to take her in. Apparently, Masaru didn't find out about this until his father's funeral. I had a feeling that you would have no intention of letting me have any of the inheritance, but by law, and on all of the papers, I am listed as a daughter of your mother. Just because I was born to a mistress doesn't mean I will give up on my rights to my father's inheritance.
You've got some nerve.
More importantly, let's see what is written on Mother's will. Mr. Onda, would you please read it to us?
Yes, about that. I'm very sorry, but I'm not able to reveal that at this time. What do you mean? I was given very specific instructions that until 49 days have passed, I would be taking full responsibility for managing the inheritance. Once 49 days had passed, then I am told to reveal her last words to you.
I understand. I know she wouldn't want us to talk about money as soon as she's gone.
But we can't be here for such a long period of time. We can have the discussion in Tokyo. The location isn't a big issue, so we can discuss it wherever you'd like. As for this house, your mother has already prepared for someone to look after it for the next 49 days, so there's no need to worry about that.
Thank you very much. Well then, I suppose that's it for us today.
Alright, fine.
And just like that, the very first discussion in regards to the inheritance was closed.
Honami, I'm sorry, but I'm going to head back first. I just need to be back at work first thing tomorrow morning.
I understand. Be careful on your way back. I saw my husband off as I remained with my kids in his hometown. Looking back, by this point, I should have been more aware of the noticeable change in my husband's behavior. I would come to severely regret this later. The next day, I got on the bullet train together with Kozue and my daughters and headed back to Tokyo. Kozue kindly treated us all to lunch, and my little girls were all excited. They must have been exhausted, because as soon as we got home, they all fell asleep faster than normal. I also felt the exhaustion hit me, but I decided to wait for Masaru to get back. However, no matter how long I waited and waited, Masaru didn't come home. Masaru, how was your day? Are you going to be back late tonight?
Yeah, I just took 4 days off, so it looks like I'll be working some pretty long overtime for a while.
Really? That's tough. Do you want me to have some dinner prepared for you?
You don't need to worry about me. Good night.
Seeing these messages, I felt a small unease tingling inside of me. I couldn't put my finger on exactly what it was, but something didn't feel right. That being said, I was back to my regular daily life tomorrow, too. I needed some rest, so I decided to try and forget about it and go to sleep. What? Masaru, did he not come home last night? When I woke up early the next day, there was no trace that Masaru had come home last night. I was of course worried, so I decided to send him another message. Good morning. It looks like you didn't make it home yesterday. Are you okay?
Sorry, I stayed over at the office. I'm gonna stay at a nearby hotel for a while.
You're that busy? Do you want me to bring you a change of clothes to the office?
Don't worry, I'll just go and buy something.
But that would be a waste.
It's fine, don't worry about me. I'll let you know when it looks like I can make it home.
There was clearly something wrong in the air. As I mentioned earlier, Masaru did not take home a very high salary at all. Even his shirts and his socks, there was no way that he could afford to buy new ones just like that. And yet, he'll just go buy something? Wait a minute, is he relying on his mother's inheritance? The uneasy feeling I had initially was very small, but by this time, I could tell that it had become a lot bigger and a lot more sure. I was right to feel that way, and Masaru didn't come home for 3 days. No matter how many times I messaged him in that time, I didn't get a single reply. When I finally did hear from him,
Hanami, are you home right now?
Masaru, I finally got a hold of you. I was so worried.
I sent some documents to arrive to you around 1 p.m. today. Once you've confirmed and signed, please go ahead and turn them in.
What are you talking about?
They're divorce papers. I want to get a divorce.
Are you being serious right now?
To be honest, it's about time. I can't pretend any longer. I don't want to be married to you anymore, Hanami. I don't need a gold-digging leech that's a full-time housewife.
What are you saying?
Look, I'm gonna get my mom's inheritance and finally have my freedom. I'm gonna quit my job, too. Finally, I've been wanting this for forever. I'll give you the child support fees and a settlement fee for you, but other than that, I am not handing you a penny more. Let me know when you've submitted the divorce papers.
I couldn't believe this. Masaru was only after his mother's inheritance, and once he's able to get his hands on that, he was going to throw us away? I couldn't believe any of it, and I crumbled to the floor on the spot. We've worked so hard together all this time, but why? This is too much! I was so shocked that I didn't think I could face my own daughters, so I asked my mother who lived nearby and had her take them for the rest of the day. And then, I decided to get in contact with a certain person. Oh, Nami, I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Kozue, I'm so sorry to call you so suddenly like this. Don't worry, I saw the messages between you two. That idiot, how dare he? I just didn't know what to do. I'm so lost. What do you mean? There's only one thing to do. One thing? Divorce, dear. Divorce. What? I have 3 children. I don't know how I could possibly support them all by myself. Don't worry. I have an idea. Leave it to me.
My name is Masaru Sato. I'm a regular businessman. I support my wife and 3 children and all by myself. But those days are finally over. My mom died. Finally. I don't know how many years I had to wait. When my dad passed away, I should have gotten a massive inheritance, but my dad left behind some ridiculous will saying that my mom could have it all. Because of that, my plan got really messed up. Honestly, as long as I could get an inheritance, that would have been fine. I wasn't really thinking about a divorce. That is, until I discovered what my true happiness was.
Aww, my Masaru. You're here again today?
Sweet Kirari, I'm here for you again today! That is my soulmate, Kirari. Kirari is working as a nightclub hostess in order to pay for her school. She's an amazing girl, and I want to support her with everything that I have. I want to live the rest of my life with her. My family just so happened to get in the way of that. That inheritance should come in somewhere in the millions. A settlement fee and a child support fee wouldn't even make a small dent in that. I can't wait for these 49 days to go by so I can inherit those assets. And then I was gonna go and propose to Kirari.
A little while after my husband hit me with the divorce, 49 days have gone by and it was time to open my mother-in-law's will. During that time, Masaru didn't come home, not once. His stance was clear. I'm sure he wasn't ever planning on coming back. And so, inheritance discussion number 2 was about to start.
There's no point in wasting our time with any chit-chat, so why don't we have you read my mother's will already?
That's true. Mr. Onda, will you please read what is written?
Yes, well then, I'll proceed to read what is written on her will. All of the assets that were inherited from my husband have been donated in full to the appropriate institutions. As for the house, my oldest daughter Kozue has already purchased it. We have already agreed that after renovation, it will reopen as an inn. As a result, there is nothing that remains for the children or any relatives. It was my husband and I's wish not to create any problems and for you all to continue to live your happy lives. And that concludes the official will left behind by Mrs. Sato. Wait, donated? What do you mean donated?
Mom has seen with her very own eyes how money changes people, and she always hated it. When Dad passed away and she inherited all of his assets, she said she really struggled.
But still, that's no reason to throw it all away to strangers, is it? That old hag, what on earth was she thinking?
Shut your mouth immediately.
Shut up! You're the child of a mistress. Who do you think you are? And how dare you buy our family home without telling anybody?
I did this not as a daughter, but as a CEO. I spoke to Mom about from a business standpoint. Our family home is beautiful. It would be a shame to tear it apart. And of course, the money that she gained from the purchase, she donated along with the inheritance. That was her wish.
How could you do that? How could you do such a thing without telling her only son?
Mom was the most scared about any of the inheritance making its way into your hands.
What did you say?
The day that Dad died, you said it to herself, didn't you? How much of the inheritance do I get?
No, but...
You had just gotten married, and your income was low. I'm sure you were worried about your household to some degree. But instead of mourning your own father, the first thing you were worried about was the money. That's why she apologized to me and told me that she wouldn't be leaving 1 cent behind of the inheritance. I have plenty of income myself, so of course I agreed.
It's a lie! You're all lying!
Mr. Masaru, in regards to your divorce from Miss Honami, we will proceed to be collecting a settlement fee as well as child support fees from you. We already have confirmation of your agreement to these payments in the messages between you and Miss Honami.
Wait a minute! I'm canceling the divorce!
Canceling?
You know that the family needs a father, and do you have any idea how difficult it would be to raise 3 children all alone?
No need for you to worry. I already have a job lined up.
What is that supposed to mean?
I recruited her into my company, and she already started working remotely and is a great addition to the team. I didn't know that Hanami was a web designer before she had kids, but you knew that, didn't you?
I didn't know the details, but...
Our company has a lot of associated businesses, so I had her join the web team that single-handedly manages all of those, and she's working from home for us. Honami's intelligent, has great taste, and she's an incredible asset. This month alone, she took home $4,000 net.
40, what?
That's why she'll have no problem without you. Plus, the divorce papers, you've already submitted them, right, Hanami? Yes, signed and sealed last week.
What? How dare you without speaking to me about it?
I did exactly as you said. I signed and turned in the papers.
But that's not...
Aren't you glad? Now you get to have the freedom that you were supposedly dreaming of. Why don't you have fun with your sweet little Kirari?
How the hell do you know about that?
I thought it would be a good thing to get you where it hurts before the divorce, so I put a detective on you for 1 week. Looks like you've been putting your all into the hostess named Kirari. Seems like you were expecting the inheritance to come in, so you were dishing out quite the amount. But that's too bad. By the way, that Kirari girl, she's lying about her age and she's not going to any school. If anything, she's a divorced single mother herself.
What? It's all a lie! This is all a lie!
We've already looked into all of it. I can't wrap my head around it. How such a stupid and useless person like you was born from such an amazing woman. The power of money truly is terrifying.
Please don't leave me, Honami. I'm your one and only husband, your only true love.
I don't have a husband anymore. Certainly not one that I love. He is already dead in my mind. You're just a stupid idiot who sees nothing but money and money only. I hope you're ready to pay the child support fees and the settlement fee.
This can't be real. This can't be happening.
Masaru was on a one-way express train headed straight to hell. The amount of money he had spent on that hostess named Kirari or whatever was $12,000. Well, for a coward like Masaru, that must be a lot of money. It turns out he was using that from our joint account, so that was added on top of the settlement fee. Settlement fees of $8,000 plus the $12,000 he had spent recklessly, as well as child support fees of $1,500 per month. We made sure that he signed an agreement that if he ever missed a child support payment, it would automatically deduct from his salary. Also, in regards to his declaration about quitting his job, until the results of the will in those 49 days, he had apparently used up all of his leave days. In the end, he wasn't able to quit his job and is continuing with his meager salary with no more days off left. Aren't you glad you were such a coward, you piece of crap? We're going to have him continue to work tooth and nail for his children. As for the house we were living in until now, it was under my husband's name, so my daughters and I left. However, Kozue said, to make up for the trouble caused by my stupid idiot brother, she gave us a room in the apartment building that she owned. I couldn't even compare it to our previous place. It was so spacious and beautiful, to the point where I almost felt guilty for living there. You've done so much for us. Thank you so much for everything. Don't mention it. If anything, I feel so lucky that we were able to meet such a talented web designer. I look forward to continue working with you. Me too. A single mother of 3 might seem like a devastating situation, but with the incredible support of my family and Kozue, I feel like I have everything I need to raise 3 amazing girls. it.